Hi and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be working on Swamp Thing again. So today's aim of the game is going to be removing the alloy wheels and giving them a refurbishment. We're also going to paint the calipers and the rusty wheel bolts at the same time. So as we can see, with the wheel bolts removed, the wheel's still on the car. And what's happened is the alloy wheels got very slightly corroded onto the steel hub. So I'm going to put two of the wheel bolts back in, about 3/4 in, and then I'm going to use that rubber mallet just to gently tap the back side of the tyre, and that's just going to put a little bit of shock in there and loosen that wheel off. The idea of the wheel bolts loosely in, or say 1/2 to 3/4, it just stops the alloy wheel come flying off when you give it a tap with the hammer. And I know in this case we're refurbishing them, but if you weren't, it could damage the face of the wheel if it fell on the floor. So as we inspect the alloy wheel, we can notice a couple of things. Here where I'm circling with my finger, we can see that somebody's done like a little local repair at some point, and the paintwork's gone a bit sort of cloudy there. And also there's quite a bit of curbing and damage on these alloy wheels. So the idea today is to remove all that and give these wheels a nice fresher coat of paint so they look good again. So on these flat areas of the alloy wheel, I'm initially using an 80 grit sanding disc, which is quite aggressive. And to be honest, it's quite interesting because majority of the curbing is actually in the paint and the primer. So as we remove that, there's very little surface metal being removed. Once the majority of the damage is out, I'm then going to switch to a 240 grit sandpaper disc, which is a lot lighter, and it's going to take any of the slightly more aggressive sanding marks out and start preparing the paint surface area to be painted and primed. So there's one little area on this alloy wheel that's got a little sort of nick out the surface of the metal. So I'm just going to put a very tiny bit of body filler in there just to smooth it out and give us a nice surface to paint onto. So about half an hour later, once that body filler's cured off, what I'm going to do is switch to this very small sanding tool. It's going to enable me to get in between the spokes, and all I'm really doing here is keying up the surface of the paint. It's just really quick and easier rather than doing it by hand. There's no need to remove that paint in that section. It's just enough for the new primer to grip into when I spray it on a little bit later on. With all the sanding done with machines, we finally do the last bit, which is manually done. So here I'm using a 1500 grit Scotch-Brite pad, and it's just to get in between these finicky little bits on the side of the spokes and things like the bolt holes, which you just can't get a machine into. With this done, we'll now look to use some Prepsol, or as we call panel wipe. This is a solvent degreaser, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. The idea is to remove any grease and oils off the surface of the area we're going to paint, and also because this is a tyre, it could have possibly had tyre dressing on it, which would have been potentially silicone based, and that's a real nightmare when you're painting something because it will react with it. So it's really important we get the surface really clean prior to putting the primer on. So with the tyre all masked up, we can now look to put the primer on. And we're going to be using an etch primer first. What this does is it's a special type of primer that's designed for bare metal, so it'll sort of bite into the surface area and give the other base coats, which we're going to spray on, which is obviously going to be silver, a good surface to adhere to, because if we didn't put the etch primer on there first and just literally painted over the top of it, the paint may fail and start to flake off quite quickly. So once the primer's cured, which is about half an hour, we can look to put the silver base coat on. And this is a different silver than I'd actually usually use, because when I looked at the centre cap with the line in it, I noticed that these wheels were quite a heavy metallic, so I had to try and mirror and match that as best I could out of the selection of silvers I had. So it's a little bit slightly darker than what I'd usually use, and I say it's much more heavy and metallic, so you've got that more metal flake in it. So with the final layer of base coat applied, we can now look to lacquer the wheel or clear coat it. I'll first of all put what we call a grip coat on, so that goes on first, and we allow that to cure just very slightly, so that when we start to put heavier layers on, it's got something to quite literally grip and stick to. Otherwise, if you spray too much lacquer on first of all, you're going to get a lot of runs and it's going to look pretty bad pretty quick. With majority of the lacquering done, all I'm doing here is just turning the wheel around, trying to find what we call a dry spot, something that's not very shiny, and just make sure everything's covered and it looks nice and even and the whole wheel looks extremely glossy, almost like a mirror finish. And hopefully, if we haven't missed a bit, it should look a little bit like this. So the whole surface area looks really glossy. It's got a nice finish to it. So with the wheels in the paint room drying off, we can now look to do some of these calipers. And as I said before in other previous videos, we're not trying to make a concourse effort of this, we're just trying to improve the surface area and make it look a little bit nicer. So I'm going to start off with some 240 grit sandpaper on a disc and just key up the general area and remove any of the surface rust as best I can. Once that's done, I'm going to use some brake and clutch cleaner here, which is solvent based again, and that's going to wash any of the grease off and the dust and dirt at the same time. I'm then going to switch back to one of those little 1500 grit scotch pads, because they're obviously very pliable and easy to get in some of the harder reach areas, and just continue to key up the area and just improve it and get the surface corrosion off as best I can. With this done, I can now look to mask up areas that I don't want to get paint onto. So this is going to be the rubber brake hose, the brake nipple, and also the rubber piston cover, which is in between the disc and the back of the caliper, which we'll see me masking up now. Usually, as I've mentioned in previous videos, you would potentially mask up the back of the brake pad as well. But in this case, the discs are pretty new on this car actually, but the pads are about half worn, so my client will replace them. So I haven't got to worry about that aspect. And here I'm just using some old seat covers just to sort of mask up the general area so it doesn't get any overspray on it. So this is a little random hack I got ages ago. What this actually is a test tube holder. It was about £4 off eBay, I think. And the great thing about this is you can place the wheel nuts in it and the threads are protected from getting paint on them, as we can see as I'm showing to the camera. So it's something which is a lot easier to do rather than sitting there manually masking them all up and trying to hold them and paint them. So yeah, a test tube holder, it's as simple as that. Pop them in the middle, and then you can just paint literally over the top of them, pull them out afterwards, and the threads are all nice and clean and paint free. So with the wheels back on the car and the vehicle back on the ground, we can now look to put a little bit of tyre dressing onto the tyres just to liven them up a little bit. And we can really start to notice that the calipers, which have been painted, look really nice behind the freshly painted alloy wheel, and also the wheel bolts as well. We can pop the centre cap back in, and we can then take the vehicle outside. So we can remind ourselves in episode 1 how bad these wheels looked before washing. Then we discovered how bad they looked underneath and how curved they were, and the work that we needed to do to improve the vehicle. And even I can see the irony is the fact that these alloy wheels are the nicest part of the car at the moment. So the repair we've done has left the wheels looking really glossy, the calipers and obviously the wheel bolts look really good as well, so it's an overall massive improvement. So coming up we've got the interior to do on Swampy, and as we can see here, Gavin, who is the Motor Trader owns Swampy, has much fun trying to take the seats out and finds all sorts of wonderful things underneath them. We've also got a quick video on a Rover 45 that's only done 18,000 miles but it's got a lot of scratches we need to remove on, so that's going to be a quick episode, but it's quite involved and quite interesting. And I shall leave you with Gavin struggling to try and take the seats out of Swampy.